सुनो हे कमान Krishna Shwati Didi, I want to hear from you.
Sing?
Hmm?
Nitai or Gauranga?
Nityananda.
Nitai Pranamani.
Page 61.
Nitai Pranamani. Nitai Pranamani.
Nitai
नित्यानंद प्रभु की प्रणव महाप्रभु करे she sing very good. Yes, we were thinking this yesterday. You need mic? You need mic? Anupama Prabhu, your turn.
Krishna. Krishna Deva. Almost as common as Gauranga Balite Ave.
No more Gauranga Bolite.
Or I could do Hari Tua. That one?
Yes.
One eight zero.
Harinam Tua Monika Swarupa
Aneka Sarupa
Harinam Tua Monika Swarupa
Harinamatu Aneka Sarupa So today's Ekadashi, we sing Shuddha Bhakata Charanare. Page
216.
Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajanam Anukula Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajana Anukula Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajana Anukula Bhakata Seva Parama Siddhi Prem Lati Karamula Bhakata Seva Parama Siddhi Prem Lati Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajana Anukula Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajana Madhavati Thi Bhakti Janani Jatane Palana Gauri Madhavati Thi Bhakti Janani Jatane Palana Gauri Krishna Vasati Vasati Boli Paramahadar Gauri Krishna Vasati Vasati Boli Gaur Ama Jisa Basthane Karalo Bhamana Range Gaur Ama Jisa Basthane Karalo Bhamana Range Gaura He Gaura Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajana Anukula Shuddha Bhakata Mridanga Vadya Shunite Mana Avasara Sadayache Gaura Vihita Kirtana Shuri Ananda Hridaya Nache Gaura Vihita Kirtana Shuri तुलसी देखी जुड़ाय प्राण माधव दोष निजानी तुलसी देखी जुड़ाय प्राण माधव दोष निजानी जय विद्ये एकादशी तिथि की श्रवण बहु बोलो 5 मिनट मैं तो बोलूँगा एनी विषय एकादशी ये माइक तो
Speak in English first, okay?
That's a good one. Speak English, okay?
Hare Krishna.
Come down to our level, Shravan.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. First I'm offering my Shashtang Dandava Pranams at the feet of my Guru Pada Padma Om Vishnu Padashto Dharasatshama Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I'm offering my pranam at the feet of our Gaudiya Rupa Anuga Guru Varga. Then I'm offering my Shastang Dandava pranams at the feet of all the assembled Vaishnavas. Very nice to see all the devotees here again. Really heartfelt pranams to everyone. So happy whenever I get to have your association. It's, just have a few minutes of sitting down and hearing Harikatha, performing Kirtan. Very auspicious, such an auspicious atmosphere. Really that Srila Rupa Goswami says this is the essence of all advice. Very, very simple. Even though our Shastra and our so many instructions that you hear in our philosophy, or to speak of our philosophy, all the different philosophies of the world, the essence of everything is very simple. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he summarizes it in shorter version than Srila Rupa Goswami. He summarizes it in Bengali. And there he says, Braja kori vas raganugohaya shravana kirtana koro nikila samai korida japan upadesha korosa. The essence of all advice is very simple. We have to utilize our most valuable asset. The most valuable asset, Srila Rupa Goswami says, is time. Time is the most valuable asset for everyone. So the most important thing is to understand how we should utilize our time. Everyone has 24 hours in the day. So Srila Gurudev always used to say, put your hand on your own heart and be the judge of yourself. How much of my time am I utilizing in following Rupa Goswami's instructions versus how much time I'm utilizing in following my mind's instructions. So Rupa Goswami says the real engagement that you should fully absorb your mind in Brajavasa Kori Raganugahaya. Ideally you should live in Brajavas. Many people have this like you say, like a problem in their mind. We're all thinking, oh, where's a good place to move? There's always a problem in some place.
Eugene.
Yeah. But very simply, Rupa Goswami says that you should simply live in Braj. And of course, given our condition, our acharyas have given some concession. But okay, we know, they know of our sorry plight, therefore they say, okay, if you can't live by your body, at least you should live by your mind. So this is a concession. This is not the rule, this is a concession. So if we can't even do this, at least live in Braj by mind. Yeah. I'm not sure what other instructions that will be relevant to us. So Rupa Goswami, Bhaktivinoda Thakur continues, Brajavasa Kori Raganuvahaya. Most important thing is to live under the shelter of someone who is actually a Brajavasi. You can live anywhere in the entire world as long as you're under that shelter, then it's like the same as living in Braj, and you can be following this instruction. Shravana Kirtana Koro. This is the most important. Simply living under the shelter doesn't mean living in the proximity. Our Gurudev used to say, just like mosquitoes live in the proximity of a pure Vaishnava, the only thing they're doing is just hanging around sucking the blood of Vaishnavas. Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Maharaj used to say one thing that, especially for those living in the temple, that if you're simply living around a Vaishnava, a pure devotee, but you're only taking from him, you're not giving anything back. Srila Trivikram Maharaj used to say that if you take 1 grain of rice from Guru, it is your obligation that you should return 2 grains of rice. If you're not giving and you're only taking, then he said it's like you're sucking the blood of Guru. So real service to Guru means Shravana Kirtana Karo. 2 things, very simple. Hearing and chanting, just like we're doing tonight. So if we're doing like this under the shelter, under the guidance of Raganuga, Vaishnava, then this is the essence of all advice. This is how you should properly utilize your time. If you don't utilize your time in this, in the Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami says, Ayur harati vaipumsam udyanastam sayanaso. If we're not utilizing our time in this, then the rising and setting of the sun is simply stealing away time in our life. They're like thieves. Gurudev used to say that most of us nowadays we're very proud when we reach an old age. Oh, I'm 80 or 90 years old. But really every day we pass in our life, the reality is that we're simply getting that much closer to death. No reason to celebrate this. So the sun and the moon are like thieves of our life, unless we are doing one thing, Uttama Shloka Vartaya. Praising the Lord, who is called Uttama Shloka. Uttama Shloka means he who is glorified by the highest sages. Uttama Shloka Vartaya. So what happens if we glorify him? If we chant his names and glories, then we also become Uttama. We also become elevated, like an elevated soul. How wonderful is this simply by chanting the Lord's names? Even if you're a conditioned soul, even if you're very low. Jahara Kamala Shraddha Se Kanishta Jan Krame Krame Tena Bhakta Hoi Vayutam. Still there's a very easy process by which you can become Uttam. That's simply chanting the glories of Krishna, of Krishna's devotees. No other personality, no other person in this world is like that simply by chanting their name, hearing about them, that we will become elevated. So Rupa Goswami says this is the essence of all advice. Simply sitting under the shelter of a Vaishnava and hearing the glories of Krishna. If you do that, then like Parikshit Maharaj, he actually first thing he did was Shravanam. For 7 days he did Shravanam. And even though at first he was somewhat fearful, I've been cursed, after 7 days, my time will be finished. Everyone's time is running out. Some of us know when our time will run out, most of us do not. Parikshit Maharaj knew 7 days. So he showed what's the most beneficial thing to do. He called for the best speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. By the mercy of Bhagavan, Shukadeva Goswami himself came. For 7 days, Gurudev said he made his ears like cups, and he drank the nectar of Harikatha. After 5 days, Shukadeva Goswami stopped. He said, Parikshit Maharaj, for 5 days you've been hearing Harikatha. You haven't drinking 1 drop of water or eaten anything. We see before Parikshit Maharaj was very thirsty when he was hunting in the forest. He went to the hermitage of a rishi, asked for some water because this rishi was absorbed in dhyan. The rishi gave him nothing. What happened? Parikshit Maharaj something came in his mind and he put a snake around that rishi's neck. So this is the result of one having material hunger and thirst. But now Shukadeva Goswami is asking Parikshit Maharaj, now you're hungry or thirsty? Maharaj Parikshit says, no, now I have no material hunger or thirst. Naishati dushahat kshunnam tyakto damapi badhate pibantam mukham bhojam putam harikatam. Because why? I'm using my ears as cups and I'm drinking harikatamritam, the nectar of harikatha. Therefore I have no material thirst. I am completely satisfied.
Nivritta Krishna Upagiyamana.
Nivritta Tishneru Upagiyamana Bhavoshada Chotra Manobhiramar. Actually, there's only one medicine for the Bhavarog, the disease of this world. And what is that? Katha of Krishna. And even those who have no material thirst, still they are thirsty for this. So Maharaj Parikshit, even though he has no material thirst, what happens when you Harikatha? You simply want to hear more and more and more. You are never satiated, always wanting more. So this is a proper utilization of time. So this is also the instruction of our Guru Varga. Anywhere where Harikatha is being spoken, anywhere where Krishna Kirtan is being performed, that place is a tirtha, is a holy place. you should give up everything and go to that place. Therefore, I can say that I'm very grateful to be here. I feel like, even though I've known so many of the devotees here for so long, and I'm sure you all see me as younger generation, still I'm starting to feel old myself. And I feel that in old age, starting to appreciate and starting to understand the value of sadhu sangha. I think more importantly, it's out of default, maybe understanding how dangerous it is to not have sadhu sangha. The absence of sadhu sangha is very dangerous. And when one is in this situation, you can see, again, Buddha said, just put your hand on your heart, look in the mirror and be honest. Without sadhu sangha, what is possible? Nothing, there's no auspiciousness in life. Therefore, I feel like sometimes it says that if someone is possessed by a ghost, there's one shloka in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Pisachi paila jina mati channahaya mayagrasta jiva se bhava budaya. Mayagrasta jiva, that jiva who's possessed by Maya, he is like a person who has been, what's it called, possessed by a ghost. And sometimes an exorcist, the process that some use to expel a ghost is they slap that person as hard as they can in the face, and sometimes the ghost goes away. So sometimes Vaishnavas, sadhus, sometimes Krishna, this is the process that he uses to slap the jiva who is possessed by Maya. Wake up, wake up. Sri Vikram Maharaj also used to say that so many Vaishnavas, they are so kind to us. And we say, oh yes, you are so kind to me, I will never forget you. But then what happens? The next day we forget. So kindness is very easily forgotten. But Sri Vikram Maharaj says, I promise if you come up and you slap someone in the face, they'll never ever forget you. So Vaishnavas, they give heavy impressions. That's what Vaishnava is. Guru means heavy. So sometimes Guru, Vaishnavas, even if Krishna is merciful, then he can do directly. They give you a strong impression, a strong beating. You'll never forget Guru, never forget Vaishnavas. If you do, what will be your position? So this is actual mercy. This is actual mercy to constantly be reminded how important sadhu sangha is. Nam Kirtan Bhagavat Shravan. So I'm praying to Srila Gurudev. I'm also Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, really a very dear friend. And he's known me for so long, he's always been so kind to me. So as much reminding is required, however you choose to do, whether it's slapping, whether it's speaking Harikatha, anything, as long as I'm always in the Vaishnava's remembrance, as long as they're thinking of me, and as long as somehow or other I can feel like being protected by them, then I feel very fortunate. So my Dandavat again, Krishna Maharaj and all the devotees here, Vanchakal Pataru, Yashchakapasandhuye, Vachapatitaman, Bhavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Jagannath Prabhu?
Yes. Wow, I was afraid you will ask it. Because I normally don't speak at all.
Normally you don't say, this is abnormal.
Okay. So, even if I say something on the auspicious day of Ekadashi, no need for my comments. Gurave Gauri Chandrai Radhai Tadai Krishnai Krishna Bhaktai Tadbhaktai Mama. Just amazing to see a third generation of devotees next to me and someone like me. Still trying to serve devotees. I'm very lucky to meet pure devotee in my lifetime, get his blessings from Srila Gurudev, and be part of this wonderful family. So, brothers and sisters, and it's one of those times I really didn't think I have much to say, but that's all I can do for now.
That's the essence. That's the essence of everything.
Yeah.
Upadesha Saram.
It's from Sri Upadeshamritam by Sri Rupa Goswami. The verse also goes like, you have to stay in Braj, and it's wonderful to meet someone like Shaman Prabhu, who just comes back from India, besides having a wonderful devotee family, and still go to India and spend time in essence of all advice, like that, and just shows me a wonderful example on how to be, how to properly practice. And thank you, Maharaj, for coming again. So sometimes I look forward we could spend some more time together when you come. But today is the worst of my speeches. I know I can come up with something on a particular day, something in particular to speak, but it's all very general. And it's Ekadashi Vrat today. I do believe that even the smallest endeavor in a spiritual life brings benefit. It's successful, but in material life you can be very successful materially, but it doesn't even match up to something on a spiritual plane, so to say. Thanks all for coming, and I look forward hearing your wonderful Harikatha, Maharaj. We can continue on what we started yesterday, and Haribol.
Thank you. Pushpa Prabhu, would like to contribute something? Pushpa Danta Prabhu. Very senior devotee, disciple of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, very good Kirtaniya, and we all know his singing and Mridanga is super.
Spiritual life it's really all about the heart, isn't it? What the heart falls in love with. You mentioned that I'm a disciple of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. I never met devotees. I only got one book through a friend, Beyond Birth and Death, and it was just a simple lecture of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And I've been praying to God, the Almighty, that I know there's more than what's available out there. And am I up to the task of, if it comes to me, will I really surrender to it? But anyway, this book came. And just on the basis of that knowledge that was in the book, and the mood that Prabhupada is speaking in, you can just feel his compassion for all the jivas. And looking at the picture of him on the back, you just knew he was a pure soul. At his old age, he's coming to the West to give this, and he's now in charge of a movement. So I came to be initiated by him in LA in '76, after reading many of the books, Bhagavad Gita, things like that. But he wasn't there. So Puru was the first devotee I ever met at the LA temple, and you know Puru. But he said, wait, he's coming in a few months. You can hang out here, do service, whatever, learn what we do. So I did that. And Prabhupada came. I only got to hear 2 weeks of Ajamil Katab, the holy name, the mercy of the holy name, the power of the holy name. And I went on 2 morning walks. That's it. I never took Harinam directly from Srila Prabhupada. I was at a preaching center in Salt Lake City. Budara gave me my beads and the name Pushpadanta from a letter from Tamal, like that. And then second initiation, I didn't get that from Prabhupada either. I got it from a tape recorder from Ramaswar Prabhu. So, you know, I could be like, wow, am I really? But I know, as soon as I read that book, I felt a very deep connection with the philosophy, with everything about it was most sublime. Everything. Diet, just way of life, rising early, always wanting to hear about the Supreme Lord and his devotees. But that point is, I felt a real connection, so much so that I was able to just give everything up and all the things that I really despised. People, going to airports, going to parking lots, distributing books, not in devotional clothing, doing all these things, but doing the Harinam on the weekends. So it's definitely Krishna's grace. And just the amount of how you can feel affection for Mahabhagavat without even meeting him. And feel a connection with him without even meeting him. But then after Srila Prabhupada left, then there was Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and then Gurudev, and so many others. Puri Maharaj, Bhakti Bharat Tirtha Maharaj, Bhakti Bharat Puri Goswami Maharaj, all of them. Krishna, he's taking care of everyone, taking care of all of us. But if that connection, if that affection is not there for the pure devotees, I mean, Krishna, in a sense, he's far away, though he's so near and dear. But the Vaishnavas are reality for us. And it's pretty spectacular when they actually notice you. That means maybe you've done some little seva. So, our greatest fortune are these great personalities. My godbrothers used to always say, Prabhupada gave us everything. I would always say, it's not about things. He gave us everyone. He gave us all these sadhus. Without Prabhupada, we wouldn't have known of these great sadhus. I mean, it had gone some other track. You know, there's so many things going on in India. So many babas. They have this one Guru Sadhu, all over the internet, turban, white beard. I could have been sitting in front of him. So thank you for coming, Maharaj.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Devotees like you that show us that there's nectar in just hearing and speaking about Krishna. And that's the reason that I joined, actually, because I found the most happiness just talking about Krishna to my friends and reading the books and hearing what they had to say. We were just happy. What is this? We're just talking and we're happy.
Chant and be happy.
There's something here.
Chant and be happy.
So if you're unhappy, don't chant, don't hear about Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Radhesham. Hare Krishna. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyananjan Shalakaya Chakshurum Litam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Stadagaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah. Virag Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Shikshaykatam Sapurusham Puran Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripam Buddhiyas Tamam Prapade. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopikant Radha Kant Namostute. Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Bhaktya Vihinaya Paradalakshay Shittasya Kamaditaraga Madhye Kripamayi Tam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So, oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm feeling very honored to be here in the association of all senior devotees here, disciples of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who joined mission 1970. I was not even born that time. So I'm like your child. And that's why I feel a little nervous also, speaking to all this great, Vaishnava and Vaishnavis here, first generation devotees. But this is how I'm going to learn. This is how I'm going to learn, speaking to all the senior devotees, and if they find any fault, any mistake, they can correct me. And this is how I'm going to learn. So please take me as your child and forgive my offenses if I say something wrong. And if we see according to generation, from the spiritual generation, then we are God brothers and God sisters. According to that, Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada and my Guru Maharaj, the God brothers, and we are disciples of, so we are God brothers in that sense. As when first time I met Srila Bhakti Gyan Bharti Gosai Maharaj, first darshan, 97. So when we paid obeisances to him and he asked, I never saw you before. And I said, we just got initiation and we're disciple of, I said, Shri Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosai Maharaj. And then he said, okay, take that chair and bring here. Sit on the chair. I said, no Maharaj, how can I sit in front of you on chair? And he said, no, we are God brothers. I said, no. Even though according to that spiritual generation we are God brothers, but I'm like your disciple. And he was very happy to hear this. He was very impressed. And he said, this is what I learned throughout my life from my acharyas. I never ever sat on the same level as my Gurudev and God brothers of my Gurudev, because this is the etiquette. But the chair is there. If you want to sit, I don't mind. I said, no Maharaj, our place is there at the feet. We are happy there. So, even though according to that generation we are God brothers, but still I regard all of you my seniors. Because there is always something in my heart, the day I joined Krishna consciousness, that I am bereft of having darshan of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. That I was lamenting a lot when I joined Krishna consciousness. Because I got attracted to see the documentary as a student. I saw this documentary, how he came to New York and singing, and hippies are dancing, and how he how he established this Krishna conscious movement. That was the turning point of my life. So I accepted him as my Shiksha Guru, but always feeling pain. Where was I? I was only 5 years when he left this world. I wish I would have been in this moment, little contribution serving him. But anyhow.
But I want to say something here that
Yes.
if Srila Prabhupada was physically present right now, he would be very your Guru Varga and
Very well said.
traveling and what.
Yes, Prabhupada is present now. All Acharya is present now. Because Nitai Charana Satya Tahara Sevak Nitya. As Nityam Prabhu is eternal, all Acharyas are eternal. And they are watching us, what we are doing. And Mahaprabhu said, no, it's in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Kirtane Parishram Jane Gaura Rai. No one can escape from the vision of Mahaprabhu. All your endeavors and efforts you input in serving the mission of Mahaprabhu, acknowledged by Mahaprabhu. Kirtane Parishrame Jane Gaura Rai. He sees that. So, with whatever capacity we have, qualification, we are serving. We're trying to serve the mission of Shri Gurudev and Shri Mahaprabhu. We were hearing beautiful pastimes of Shri Ramanujacharya yesterday, his life history, and today, very auspicious day, Ekadashi. Srila Bhakti-Vigan Bharati Maharaj always, mostly on the Ekadashi days, he used to utter one verse from Hari Bhakti Vilas. How we have to observe Ekadashi. So just to glorify this tithi. Upavaratassu papebhyo yastu vasa gunesaha upavasam tu vigyam nat upavasam langanam. This injunction by Sanatana Goswami from Hari Bhakti Vilas. We all know about Ekadashi, Madhav Tithi, Bhakti Janani is the day of Krishna, and Bhakti Janani, mother of Bhakti. Anyone who follows Ekadashi gets Bhakti to Krishna, for Krishna. But how to follow Ekadashi? This injunction. Upavratasya papebhyo. Refrain from not only grains, as we do, but refrain from sinful activities. That's the purpose of Ekadashi. I mean, every day we have to refrain from sinful activities. It's not that Dwadashi day we should do paran and okay, fasting is over. But especially, Jatane Palan Kori, with so much jatan, with so much efforts, and so much cautious. We're supposed to follow Ekadashi Vrata, refrain from sins. And committing sins means sins by body, words, and mind. Even not in, it should not come in the mind also. And what to speak of offenses? Refrain from sins, and of course, refrain from offenses. So just only refrain from sins is the only purpose to follow Ekadashi? No. He's saying, Upavratasya papebhyo yastu sa gunai saha. Another level, higher level than this is yastu vasa gunai saha. The day to reside the qualities of Krishna. The day to reside with Krishna. The day to be in proximity with Krishna. And what is equivalent to Krishna? The name, form, qualities, and the pastimes of Krishna. There's nothing else which can be compared to be with equal to Krishna. The name of Krishna, the form of Krishna. That means we chant as much as we can, but more than as we can. Serving the form of Krishna. Hearing the qualities of Krishna and hearing the pastimes of Krishna. Hearing the associates of Krishna, Parikar. It's the day to reside with Krishna. Many devotees, they do dry fasting. I was telling Jagannath Prabhu, we used to do a lot years back. But now we have to take medicines and things like that, old age. But dry fasting, along with dry fasting, not sleeping 24 hours. That means all night not sleeping at all. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam or chanting, and if you fall asleep, just get up, take mridanga on your neck and start beating. This is how we used to observe Ekadashi. All night without sleeping is very hard. But next day you feel so much energy. Madhav Tithi Bhakti Janani Jatane Palan Kari. Srila Bhakti Thakur is giving inspiration, Jatan, with so much efforts. One should do this as much as they can. So not only refrain from grains, not only refrain from sins, but the most important is to reside with Krishna in the form of his name, form, qualities and pastimes. Because prema bhakti jaha hoite avidya vinasha jati. First prema bhakti will come and then avidya will go away. This Narottam Thakur is saying, prema bhakti jaha hoite avidya vinasha jati. First prema bhakti will come, and with the powerful effect of prema bhakti, then ignorance simultaneously will just go away. As Shri Shukdev Goswami said, the blessing first Shruti, the blessing words and the last words of Shri Ras Leela. Vikvritam Vrajvadam idam cha Vishnum Shradhanu to Anushunyat atha varnirva Bhaktim param bhavati pratilabbe kama hidero Vishneti acharena dhiraha. Anyone who hears the pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna, but Anushunyat, first hearing from authorities, atha varneva, or describing Bhaktim param bhavati pratilabbe kama. What will come? What will come first? Bhakti. And then hide rog ashnati acharena dhira. Then the disease of the heart goes away. Not that first the disease of the heart will go and then bhakti will come. Not the first the anarthas will go and then bhakti will come. This Gurudev's formula. Srila Gurudev used to preach. First prema bhakti will come. First bhakti will come and then ignorance and all these things will go away. So need to put more and more. A cup with full of ink, black ink, and an ample supply of milk. Just keep on pouring in that cup. Milk. And the ink will going to overflow. First the milk will also turn to black, but keep on pouring, then what will happen? All ink will just go away. Overflow. And the cup is full of milk. Prema bhakti jaha hoite avidya vinasha jate. That doesn't mean we don't have to take care of our anarthas. That's very important. Very important. First to judge ourselves. What is my weakness? What is my anartha? And I have to operate my own anarthas. So this is the day. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada used to say, this is the day to remember how many anarthas I have and how I have to destroy those anarthas. So Ekadashi comes twice a month. The day to check how much I progress from my last Ekadashi. How much I progress in my chanting and remembering of Krishna. Smaratatam Vismarta na jatachit. Smarta satatam Vishnu Vismarta na jatachit. All injunctions in the Shastras are based on this formula. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So we are trying to be Krishna consciousness, so we make our surroundings Krishna consciousness. Speaking to devotees, even in a call, Hare Krishna, we start with Hare Krishna, Hari Bol, Radhe Radhe. Even in the text, Radhe Radhe, Dandvat Pranams, Hari Bol. We're making our surroundings Krishna consciousness. This is how we are trying to elevate the consciousness as Krishna consciousness. So coming to the stories of Sri Ramanujacharya, and I said, his Gurudev, Sri Yamunacharya. Why? How he got this name Yamuna? Because his parents were on pilgrimage And they came to Vrindavan, and mother delivered the boy on the bank of Yamuna. That's why his name. That's why she named him Yamuna, and later he became Yamunachari. His grandfather was pure devotee and very learned. When they came back to their town in South India, his grandfather, whose name was Nath Muni, very learned scholar and pure devotee, his aim and object was only to worship the Lord and remember Him all day and night. But the king of that territory, he was very strange kind. He used to invite scholars in his palace, in his assembly, and used to have debate with one of his own priests, like a Kul Guru. And his name was Vidyajan Kolahal. Vidyajan Kolahal. What is the meaning? A disturbance amongst the learned people. That was his name. I heard this from Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj. And even if you read his biography, Vidyajan Kolahal. Kolahal means disturbance amongst those who are learned. So he was like a royal priest, and king was very fond of hearing debates. So he used to invite learned people from all villages to come and have debate with my person. A contest. And with the punishment that if you get defeat, every year you have to give some tax in the treasure to the king. So all learned Pandits, Brahmins, they used, they invited in the palace, and he defeat them. Every time he defeats them, they all became like a slaves, and they, poor people, poor Brahmins, but they have to somehow give tax to the king every year. And it happened so that Nath Muni, even though he was very learned, but also he got defeated. And he was paying tax, but he was asking excuse from the king. I don't have money this year. I will repay you next year. Since 2 years, he didn't pay anything. And when this young boy, almost age of Sham Bihari, when he was playing in the courtyard, he saw some soldiers came to arrest my grandfather, maternal grandfather. I said, you can't take my grandfather. What is the point? What is the matter? They said, oh boy, you don't know details, but he's not paying tax from 2 years, and that's now the order of the king to arrest him. What tax? What is this all nonsense about? The grandfather said, child, you don't know details. Don't interrupt them. Otherwise, they're going to punish you. But I want to know. Then Nath Muni gave affection to him, petting on his head. We all lose the debate in the palace of the king. So therefore, this is what we all have to go through. Yamunacharya said, who's there to defeat all of you? I can go in the palace, an assembly hall, and I will defeat whoever it is. So he, young boy, but so boldly he said to the soldiers, go and inform your king. I'll be the next one to have debate with your person. The soldiers came to king and he said, oh, we went to get Nath Muni, but the young boy challenged. He said, interesting, bring him. The soldiers came. Okay, the king is inviting you, come. He said, I'm not a simple person. I want a palanquin. I can't walk because I'm not less. I want a palanquin. Tell your king to send a palanquin. And I also want some drums. It should be a royal procession. I'm going to a king, not an ordinary person. When king heard this, he said, whoa, young boy? Oh, very interesting. I want to see him. So he sent palanquin and some people to play drums and all. And this young boy, he sat in a palanquin and is crossing all villages. And Brahmins who all got defeated, they were showering their mercy to him. Oh Yamuna Prasad, oh Yamuna, please can you help us? Because we are suffering a lot. Poor people, we can't pay tax every year. And he was getting blessings from everyone and he was paying obeisances to all of them. Please shower your mercy. I want to win this contest. So king and queen, from their balcony with a binocular lens, they were watching. In the palanquin, a young boy, he's coming to debate with this scholar in our palace. The king said, see, a mouse is coming in the mouth of a cat. My cat going to eat this mouse. But the queen said, who knows? Maybe he's a lion who's going to devour your cat. So let's have a bet. They both start have a bet. She said, if this boy get defeat, I promise you, I will serve your maidservants. I'll become the maidservant of your maidservants. I promise you. And you have to give equal reward. He said, okay, from my side, if he wins, I will give my half kingdom to him. He'll become the king of my half kingdom. That's my promise. Let's have a bet. This boy came in assembly and all scholars and villagers were following him. The palace was full. The king said, yes, what do you have to say? The young boy, you don't have etiquette? You sitting on a throne. I'm a learned scholar. No throne for me. No seat for me. I can't speak just by standing here. King said, oh, this strong guy. So okay, he asked some of his soldiers, guards to give him a seat. Then he said, okay, who is that person who wants to have debate with me? Who is that person? And he's like so elderly, scholar, personality, Vidyajan Kolahal, the disturbance amongst the learned. He came forward and they both sat opposite to each other. He said, you can ask any question from me. So the priest, that person, he said, can you give definition of this word, some Sanskrit word? And because this boy, he was not very learned, but he was very tricky. He was not very learned, but a very tricky boy, very sharp. He said, I thought I'm in an assembly of learned people. I think he's a foolish. He's just telling me to define a verse or give a definition. You can easily find in a dictionary. This is not the point. Bring some point to discussion, for discussion. I give you one more chance. Ask a question. And he again asked something Sanskrit. Give the meaning of this. And anyone here can describe? No one. The boy said, this is again a foolish question. You are really foolish. I thought you are very learned, you are foolish. He was actually making him irritated because he wants the bowl to come in his court. And the learned person said, so you think I'm foolish? Then you ask question and I'm going to answer. This is what he wanted. This is what he wanted. He said, okay, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. You have to prove these 3 questions. If you're able to prove this, I accept my defeat. I will accept my defeat. If you can't prove these 3, then you have to accept your defeat. And if you accept your defeat, then king, you have to release all these people from their tax. No more obligations for taxes. King said, I promise. Ask 3 questions. He said, my first question, you have to prove your mother is a barren lady. mother of king is a barren lady. And he said, even if I prove this, what king going to do? He will kill me. But how can I prove? The mother is barren. I mean, he is the son of his mother. You understand my point? My second question, you have to prove that king who is sitting on the throne is sinful and irreligious. And he's thinking, how can I even prove this? And my third is the queen sitting next to the king. She's not a chaste lady. She's unchaste. I'm giving you some time to think. You have to prove this. And his head is spinning.
He had to prove that she was chaste.
Unchaste lady.
And the first thing was the mother
Is a
was
barren lady.
barren?
Barren.
Aaron.
Didn't
Can't
have
give
children.
birth.
Who can't give birth to a child.
Okay.
Yeah. So all these very strange questions was asked to that person. And he's sweating and everyone was looking at him. He got so nervous. King asked him, can you prove this? He said, no sir, that's so difficult. How can I prove you are sinful? How can I prove your wife is unchaste? How can I prove your mother has no child? Then you accept your defeat. He said, I will accept defeat if he proves this. The boy said, yes, I can prove this. Everyone was watching, looking at him. He said, my first answer to my first question. This is stated in Manu Samhita. You know Manu Samhita? So please don't ask me further on this. I heard this from Srila Bharati Maharaj and it is mentioned in Manu Samhita. Any mother having one son is still considered to be a barren lady. It's in Manu Samhita. She's supposed to have 2 child. Is it mentioned in Manu Samhita or not? He said yes. So, the mother of king, she's a barren lady. I proved this. My other question, the answer to my second question, king is sinful. He said, how are you going to prove this? He said, because this is Kali Yuga. And in Kali Yuga, everyone performs sins. And 1/6 portion of the sins of the subjects goes to the king. So that means king is sinful. You believe this? He said, yes. Understand? It's a logic there. 1/6 portion of the sins of a disciple goes to Guru, of the wife goes to the husband, and the subject goes to the king. This is in Shastras.
Wait a minute. Wife goes to the husband?
Yes.
No one told me that before I got married.
It's too late to know. So, is it correct? He said, yes. But how will you prove? My queen, she's unchaste. He said, also, when queen get married at the time of wedding, not any other lady, but just queen. If any princess getting married to the king, then the deities of all directions also get married to the queen. The deities of 10 directions, 11 directions. The predominant deity of all the directions also participate along with the king and get married with the queen. That means she has 12 husbands and therefore she is not chaste. So I answered my 3 questions. You have any point to say? He said, no, because this is all true. So you accept your defeat. And he said, yes, I accept my defeat. And all scholars started glorifying him. Acharya, 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 you are Acharya now, you are Acharya now. And the queen smiled looking at the king. Now you have to fulfill a promise. He said, yes. I'm giving my half kingdom to him. And he is king of the half kingdom. In young age, he became king. And when he became king, then all opulences around him. And he developed this greed to fight with other kings and to extend his kingdom more and more and more. He became a samrat. He became a big king now. And he getting more and more indulged in all these kingly activities, and he forgot what his grandfather was teaching him when he was child. His grandfather Nath, when he was teaching him some stotras, some prayers, some stutis, some verses, and making him learning all that, but he forgot everything now because he became so greedy to extend his kingdom. You know? Then one day Nath, when he was so sad, and his disciples said, Gurudev, why are you so sad? He said, I want to see my grandson to become a pure devotee of Lord, but he became a materialistic person. I want him to come back. Enough of this king opulence. I want him to come back, but now he's too much engrossed in that. But who is going to bring him back? His disciples said, Gurudev, if you bless me, I will bring him back. He said, can you? He said, yes. So he got blessings, and he has a trick to bring him back. He went to the guards. I want to see the king. They said, you have to wait here, we have to ask permission. They went inside. There's a sage, a holy person, he wants to see you. He said, I have no time. Tell him I have no time. But then this disciple, Sevak, said, tell your king, if he remembers his grandfather, he's going to leave his body soon, and he has kept some hidden treasure for him. If he wants that, I'm here to give him the location where it is kept. When this news came to the king, he said, of course, bring him inside. Because he became greedy now. He wants this chest, this treasure. The disciples saw the king. Exactly as my Gurudev described of him, he became totally lost in the materialistic activities. Then he informed, he said, King, you remember your grandfather? He said, yes, something. He's going to leave his body soon. Oh, I'm very sorry to hear this. And I'm his disciple. So, how can I help you? Can I send some people for his cremation? He said, oh, no. He's still alive. He said, okay, then quickly, tell me. I have no time. He has some treasure for you. If you want that treasure, you have to come with me. But the point is, you alone with me. We're going to be on one chariot, and I know where that treasure is kept. It's in the middle of the forest. No one should be with us. And I want to give you this treasure. You want this? He said, yes. So he told his ministers, no one should follow us. I'm going with him. And don't worry, I'm safe. So it was a long distance travel to that place. While he was riding the chariot, he was driving the chariot, he was speaking the same stotras, the same prayers as Yamuna was hearing when he was child. He wants to revive that, his consciousness. And because the Sevak, the disciple, was also pure, his vibrations was changing in him, making a change in him. And he was hearing this. And he said, yes. The last line was this. Yes, I remember now. He was speaking a stotras. He was reviving his consciousness. And then he stopped his chariot at one place. He said, now we have to go inside. What do you call khandar? Like a broken temple? Kya bolte English mein? Like a fort which is in a very ruined state. He said, you have to go inside, but careful, that treasure is protected by a big snake. So keep on reciting the prayers if you remember. And because he revived his consciousness, he was loudly reciting those prayers to get protection from the snake. When he went inside that, he saw a big snake and a treasure. And what was that snake and treasure? Shirangnath, deity of Vishnu, which is present in Shirangam now. Shirangnath, big deity of Vishnu with a snake means Shesh on his head. And when the king saw, the disciple put his hand on his head, and with his blessings, he started crying and weeping. Oh my Lord, what a beautiful darshan. What a beautiful darshan. Wow. And he started crying. His heart melted, and he remembered how my grandfather was teaching me all this. I was speaking stories. He got change, and he became renounced. He lost his kingdom. Some other king took away, and he was least affected with that. He became totally renounced. And then he started his bhajan. He became a sannyasi as Yamuna Acharya. And then he made disciples. But he was very sad to see my Lord, who is so beautiful, is in this state of, in this small setup, which is so humble and in a ruined state. He wanted to make a huge temple for his Lord. You know which temple I'm speaking about? Shirangam, Ranganath. Deity, Vishnu deity, so big, more big than from this end to that end, like twice as big size. It's lying.
It has 3 doors.
3 doors.
So it's the same from Brita Bhagavatamrita, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Shri Mahaprabhu, if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu being there to have darshan of Shirangam. Shri Nityanand Prabhu and all our acharyas. Mahaprabhu was dancing there, and there he met Shri Gopal Bhatt Goswami. Shirangam temple. So now if you go and see, it's a big, huge temple. But who built that? Shri Yamunacharya. But he was very humble, renounced order. He didn't have money. He approached some kings. Can you help building this temple? King said, no, we have no interest. We have no interest in building temples. Then he's thinking, if king have so much money, they are not spending, they're going to go in hell. I should engage this king's opulence in the service of the Lord. He had some very magical, mystic disciples. You know the story? One disciple, he can walk on water. Other disciple, if he step on someone's shadow, the person cannot move. The third disciple, he knows the art of hypnotism. He can see in your eyes and he can hypnotize you. And the fourth disciples can unlock any lock in the world. He's very expert. He just touches his hand and he can unlock any locks in the world. 4 disciples. So he's told 4 disciples, he gave order, go and rob the king. I want his treasure to build temple for my Thakurji. Disciples said, but Gurudev, you know better than me. Do well, as I said. So 4 of them on a boat. They went there. The guards were there, and they tried to enter inside. The guards running, and the disciple stepped on the shadow of the guard. They can't statue. They can't walk. They went inside. Long story, but I'm just speaking short. The other disciples inside now, they're looking in the eyes of other guards. They all got stunned and like stagnant there. The third one, he opened the treasure, took out all money, and they handed over to the disciple who can walk on water. He took this and brought to Yamunachari. And with this money, he didn't spend on him. He spent every single penny to build this temple, the huge temple. Now when the temple was built, then everyone, all disciples were saying, it's because of me. The other said, it's because of me. I stepped on their shadows. He said, because I hypnotized them. He said, I opened the lock. But only one who was able to walk on water, he said, no, this is only because of the potency of our Gurudev we accomplished this. They said, yes, blessings of Gurudev is there, but without us, he would have not done this. They developed that kind of ego. So Yamunacharya then told this disciple who can walk on water, 4 of you go in a boat, and in the middle of the ocean or river, turn around the boat. I want 3 of them to die there. I said, Gurudev, what are you saying? Do as I'm saying. It looks like a little strange story, right? Very strange. All negativities are there. But he did exactly. He said, let's go for boat ride. In the middle of river, he turned the boat around. All 3 of them, they drowned. And he can walk on water. He came back and he was crying and weeping. Gurudev, what you ordered me to do? It's totally strange. I'm not able to digest this. He said, you crying? You should be happy. Because I sent them to Vaikuntha. They are in the service of my Lord Narayan there. Because of their dedication and service to me, I send them to Vaikuntha. That is my blessings to them. So it looks like strange. Strange story, but they went to Vaikuntha. And then Yamunacharya was looking for his successor. And he made Sri Ramanacharya his successor, as we heard yesterday. When he left his body, 3 fingers were closed. And Ramanacharya, he became successor of Sri Yamunacharya. So, something we heard yesterday. But now, Ramanacharya is thinking how I can fulfill the desire I expressed to my Gurudev when his fingers were closed, and I said, I want to write a commentary on Vedanta Sutra. And this commentary is present in North India, in Jammu, Kashmir, as Bodhayan Bhashya. So he took his disciple Quresh with him, the best of his disciple Quresh. You heard about Quresh?
Is he the one with the milk?
Huh?
No, he's not the one with the milk. He's the one with the...
Quresh.
He's the one that had to be the servant to help the one disciple, the lady disciple that needed a... No.
He needed to defeat another king in conversation.
Yes,
And,
there's so many stories.
And the
I'm coming
eyes
to
were
that.
plucked out, and then the eyesight came back.
Yes, Quresh. So, Guru and disciple, they both went to North India. They worship, there's the Siddhapeeth, means, Durga, people worship there. When they heard Ramanacharya wants that, Ramanacharya actually begged them, can you give me this Vedanta Sutra? I just want to see this. They said, they told lies. They said, no, we don't have this. So Ramanacharya was feeling so sad. I promised this to my Gurudev, how I'm going to fulfill his desire. But then Quresh, he somehow found that copy, that manuscript, he took that and all night he was having what you call photography memory. You know, like we have scanners. He read all night this great book, so many pages. He just read and everything was in his memory. And next day, the priest of the temple, they said, Ramnachare stole our Vedanta Sutra. And somehow they found this and they took back. And Ramnachare felt so bad. How am I going to write commentaries? Because this book is gone. Kuresh said, Gurudev, don't worry. I have very sharp memory. I read all night and I can write again. And then you can make your commentaries. So, are you sure? He said, yes. Our Gurudev used to compare Kuresh with our Param Gurudev, Shri Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Just like Param Gurudev served Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, similarly, just like Kuresh served Shri Ramanujacharya, similarly Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj served Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Because Param Gurudev was also having this photography memory. Kuresh wrote all Vedanta Sutra. And Shri Ramanujacharya, he wrote a bhashya on this, commentary on this. So he fulfilled the desire of his Gurudev. The commentary with the with Vaishnava doctrine, Vedanta Sutra. And then now other desires to be fulfilled. I want to preach on Vaishnavism and make disciples. So he started preaching and made disciples. He was converting Shaivites to Vaishnavas, conversions. When he was speaking and presenting his bhashya, his commentaries, those who are reading this, they were converting to Vaishnavas. And this was a threat to the king, Cholaraj. And all these Shaivites, they complained to the king, if we continue like this, we will not get any Shaivites. You have to do something. And hearing this play of those Shaivites, his followers, he ordered his guards to go and arrest Ramanujacharya. I want to kill him. So Ramanujacharya, he was in saffron robes, sannyasi. And his disciple Kuresh heard this. That's a threatening to my Gurudev life. So he took his Gurudev inside room and exchanged his clothes. He put on saffron cloths and gave his white cloths to his Guru Ramanujacharya. And Guru Ramanujacharya was cursing him. What are you doing? You're disobeying me. You wearing my saffron cloths doesn't mean you become sannyasi. He said, similarly, Gurudev, if you wear my white cloth, you will not become grasta. I know what I'm doing. Without informing him the details, Kuresh came out and the guards saw him and they say, are you Ramanuja? He said, yes. And they arrested him, took him to the king. And king, in front of all his subjects, he ordered, I want to kill you actually, sentenced to death. But because I remember you helped my daughter who possessed with a ghost. Remember we heard yesterday? So I have some obligations. You did a favor to me. So I'm not going to kill you and take your life. But I really want to give you punishment. And everyone should see, if anyone go against my order, this happens. He told his soldiers to take his eyes out. And with a very sharp, some kind of knife, the soldiers were trying to take his eyes out. They took his eyes out, they plucked his eyes and became blind, and blood was flowing from his eyes. And then Kuresh was catching hold feet of those soldiers with his emotions that thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this to me. My life was waste, was of no any use. I was not able to serve my Gurudev. And I was always engaged in my own self-enjoyments. but by taking these eyes out, you helped me in serving my Gurudev. I'm thankful to you. You helped me in serving my life, in serving my Gurudev. And soldiers throwed him out from the territory. He was blind now. And he's moving here and there, falling on the ground, nothing to eat or drink. He took shelter of one temple, Lord, I think it's Kanchipuram, Lord Vardraj. And in front of the deities, he used to sing day and night. Sing for the pleasure of deities. Shri Ramanacharya heard that my Koresh, my dear disciple Koresh, has sacrificed his life for me. He went out in search of Koresh. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? After some months, in search of his own disciple in all places of pilgrimage, he finally came to this temple, Vardraj. He heard from far distance someone is singing so melodiously. When he went inside and he heard, this is Koresh. And he called out, oh Koresh. Koresh heard his Gurudev. Oh, my Gurudev. And he was blind. Ramanacharya cannot see this. He came running and he embraced him. And he was in tears. Why you didn't inform me what you're trying to do? I could have solved the issue. I could have solved the issue. You took everything on your head. You saved my life. Koresh, I'm eternally indebted to you. And this is because I gave promise to my Gurudev. I have to fulfill some desires. I have to preach Vaishnavism. So this promise of I gave to my Gurudev would have been unaccomplished if I would have died. So you saved my life and you saved my promise. And therefore, I ask you to get any two boons from the deities, Vardraj. Any two boon you can ask, you will be granted. Koresh, he turned around with folded hands in front of deities. He said, my Gurudev wants me to ask two boons from you. In my first boon, I'm asking that king who ordered to punish me and took my eyes out, oh Lord, don't take his offense. I want you to excuse him and give your bhakti, devotion to him. One boon. My other boon, those soldiers who took my eyes out, I know you will be mad at them. But this is my humble request. I'm asking this boon. Don't take their offense and give your bhakti to them. These two boons he asked. You know, that's the nature of Vaishnavas. As Srila Haridas Thakur also said, when he was been beaten in 22 marketplace, oh Prabhu, please forgive them. They don't know what they are doing. Please excuse them. Because he knows what the Lord going to do with them. They'll be finished. Birth after birth. Billion, trillion, infinite lifetimes in hell. And Vaishnava cannot see this. Because they're possessed with this mood of para dukhe dukhi. They can't see the sufferings of others. They can't see. And because of them, if someone gets suffered, they can't see this. Rather, they take all sufferings on them and want to make peace to everyone. That's the nature of Vaishnavas. That's the nature of your devotees. Par dukhe sukhi sada mithya vadi. Par sukhe dukhi. If I see any opponent, just giving. If I see any my opponent is rising, then I feel envious and jealous. I want to harm that person. That's my nature. Srila Bhakti Thakur is writing this. But Vaishnavas are not like this. They are nirmasaranam sadham. They have no envious. They are very pure in nature. That's their nature. As Jesus also, When he was crucified, what he said? Oh Lord, please don't take their offense. They don't know what they are doing. Vaishnava, the pure devotees. So similarly, Kuresh, he asked these two boons, and Ramanacharya became a little upset, disappointed. Why you didn't ask eyes? I told you to ask two boons. Excuse me. Busy. Oh, cat. Shukdev. He's your master. Very fat cat. Can you close my door? I don't want to sleep with the cat tonight. Otherwise I have to. It's good actually. I will chant all night and it's going to hear. But I'm scared. It's fat. It's like a mountain lion.
Maybe it's a lot of wool.
Yeah. So, Sri Ramanacharya, he said, now I'm going to ask boon. He said, oh Lord, give divine eyes to my disciple Kuresh. I'm asking, personally I'm asking this. When Kuresh got this, like a illumination, a light came and he got his divine eyes. Moment he got his eyes, he started seeing and he closed his eyes. He don't want to see the Lord. He turned around and he want to see his Gurudev first of all, with his divine eyes. He wants to see the lotus feet of his Gurudev. So he turned around, he saw the lotus feet of his Gurudev, he touched his feet and he said, I'm so grateful and obliged, eternally obliged to you. You have given me these divine eyes. And Guru became upset. Oh, now you're saying you're grateful and thankful. When I told you to ask boons from the Lord, why you didn't ask eyes? He said, because if in those boons, if I would have asked my eyes back, then I would have got attracted to see the beauties of this world. And that would have been a distraction in my bhajan. I'm happy to be blind. I don't want to see any beauties in the world. But now these eyes are given by you, and this is your prasad. And I'm sure, with your prasad, I'm not going to get attracted to any beauty of the world, but only attracted to your holy lotus feet. Ramanacharya got Kuresh back. And he started preaching, and Kuresh was helping his Gurudev and making so many disciples. There was one person who was a big bouncer, like a gunda. What do you say, gunda? A kind of dacoit, very strong, huge body. Everyone was scared of him. And he was very attracted to one lady. So much that he always used to walk facing her. If she's walking, he always used to carry umbrella and walking, how you say? Backwards. Wherever she's going, market, anywhere, and he's always backwards walk, always staring at her. So beautiful. She's so beautiful. I've not seen anyone beautiful than her. She came to temple and he's also backwards towards the deities, and the pujari closed the curtain because this is not etiquette. And all others are also waiting for the pujari to open the curtain. They want to have darshan. But no one can even say anything because he was like a very strong and kind of dacoit. And it happened so Sri Ramanacharya entered in the temple with his disciples and said, why curtains are not open? And everyone indicating because of him. Sri Ramanacharya came forward and he said, hey, what are you looking? He said, look, the beauty of this lady, she's so beautiful. I don't want to look anything else. I only want to focus and meditate on her. She's so attractive. Sri Ramanujacharya said, if I will make you see something more attractive than her, he said, impossible. He said, it's possible. If you believe my words, if you turn around, I will make you see something more attractive than her. I challenge you. He said, okay, but I think it's not going to help. So he turned around, Pujari opened the curtain, and he's seeing the deity, and Ramanujacharya kept his hand on his head from back. And with that infusion of that blessings, he's seeing the Lord and he started crying. He's adoring the beauty. And he said, what have you done to my life? I was attracted to this beautiful lady. This attraction, this beauty is insignificant. And what I'm seeing now, so beautiful Lord. I was thinking he's just a stone who don't speak, who has no emotions. But wow, what I'm seeing now, in this bhajan, ha ha manohar ki dekhinu ami boliya murchita bo. We also have this bhajan in our song. Oh, so beautiful, so beautiful. And he got totally changed. He said, Gurudev, you gave me divine eyes, I want initiation from you. So Sri Ramanujacharya gave him initiation and gave him name Dhanurdhar. His name was Dhanurdhar. He said, Gurudev, you gave me initiation. Now tell me how can I serve you? So I was speaking this point in Bajar also. Mostly we approach Gurudev, say, I want to serve you like this. And Gurudev always say, okay, if this is only your understanding, then something you have to serve, okay. But actually a disciple should ask Gurudev, how you want me to serve you. How you want. How can I serve you? This should be the question. Not, I want to serve you like this. Then this is again I. But I want from you how you want me to serve. As Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he gave instructions to our Srila Prabhupada, Swami Maharaj. I want you to go to Western world and preach. He didn't say, Guru Maharaj, I want to serve you like this. Guru gives order. The order comes in descending order. This is order, descending. I want you to serve me like this. He ordered my Guru Maharaj, I want you to serve in my publication. This is the orders. So he said, Gurudev, how can I serve you? He said, marry to that lady. He said, I have no interest. I have no attractions. And I have no interest. I want to serve you. He said, because you have no attraction and no interest, that's why I'm telling you to get married. And I know you're both going to serve me. He said, as you say. So no interest, no inclination. But then he got married with that lady. And he was rich. There was so much gold and jewels. And Sri Ramanujacharya wanted to establish among his disciples. You see the life of Sri Ramanujacharya is very deep. There are so many stories. I'm not finished yet. And I'm seeing it's almost time. And everyone is hungry also, Ekadashi.
No, we gotta finish.
So let me finish this one. What happened?
No, I will do offering.
Offering, yes. Sure. Offering. And meanwhile, I'll finish this pastime. Tomorrow is Vara Dwadashi, very auspicious day. And we're going to hear the pastimes of Shri Vara Bhagwan, so we cannot continue this tomorrow. And day after is Nityananda Doshi, also very auspicious day, in a row. But some other time we'll continue more stories. So, what I was saying? Yes. So, Ramanujacharya's disciples, they started. Ramanujacharya wants to establish there is no consideration of varna and ashram in bhakti. oh, I'm sannyasi, then I'm superior. You grasta, you're inferior. I'm Brahman, I'm superior. There's nothing like that. So in Srirangam, there's a holy river called Kaveri. Ramnacharya he used to go take bath in the river every day. When he's going to take bath, he used to keep hand on the shoulder of his sannyasis. You know? And when he's after bath, when he's coming back to his ashram, he used to keep hand on the shoulder of this Dhanudar, who's Grasta. And sannyasis started gossiping. I don't know what is Gurudev, maybe he's not understanding. We are sannyasis, he should keep hand on the shoulder after bath. You understand? Before bath, maybe he's impure. That's again offense. Understand the point? After bath, he should keep hand on our shoulder because we are sannyasis and he's grasta. Ramnacharya heard this. He said, okay, I'm going to prove them who is superior. And what he did, he told one of his sevaka, one disciple, to take their belongings, like someone's upper cloth, someone's shirt, someone's dhoti, and he just, turn around, twist around, keep his shirt in that cabin and his dhoti in their room. So everything became little hodgepodge. They woke up in the morning, hey, you stole my cloth. Hey, you stole my shoe. Hey, you stole my towel. They started fighting for small, simple things. And Ramnacharya said, what is the matter? Why are you all fighting? He said, no, it's okay. He said, listen, all of you. I'm in a need of money. I want all of you today in the evening when Dhanudar comes here to have my darshan, I'm going to engage him in Harikatha. I want all of you to go in his house and rob everything. Steal everything. Because I need money. He said, okay. They said, okay. In the evening when everyone came, when Dhanudar came, he said, oh, how are you? And he started Harikatha and he indicated to his disciples, go. So, a couple of them, they came in his house. His wife was lying down, not sleeping, just one side. And she saw my godbrothers are here and they are taking everything, they are robbing us. And she was quiet. She's thinking maybe Gurudev is in need of emergency, need of money and is reluctant to tell us. That's why he sent my godbrothers. And while she was lying like one side, she was also wearing bangles, earrings, a diamond. So disciples, when they took everything from the box, from the locker, they're thinking we should also take her bangles. It's also expensive. So they take her one side bangle, earring. She thought, what I'm going to do with other bangle? So she turned around. When she turned around, they said, oh, we should run now. They came back to Gurudev and Ramnacharya saw all of them, they came with a bag. He said, okay Dhanudar, now you go back, it's too late. Come see me tomorrow. And Dhanudar said, okay Gurudev. Ramnacharya told the disciples, now you all follow him and see what's happening in their house. What's happening in their house. They were all following Dhanudar. And when Dhanudar came back, he saw everything is just fallen apart. The closet, everything is open, the locker is... He said, oh, thieves! Robbery! Wife said, don't worry. I was lying down, I saw our godbrothers came. I think Gurudev is in need of urgent some money. And he is reluctant, is shy to say. I saw my godbrothers were taking everything and I was lying down. They also took one bangle and one earring. And Dhanudar chastised her. Why you didn't give the other bangle and other earring? We don't have to keep any belonging in our home. You should go right away to Gurudev and give that part also. The other earring and other bangle. Why you turn around? You could have given immediately to them. She said, I turned around, they all ran away. What can I do? So Dhanudhara was shouting at her. All our belongings, our life, everything belongs to our Gurudev. He's feeling shy and reluctant, but we are supposed to give our life for the service of our Gurudev. And all sannyasis were hearing this, and they were totally shocked. Now they understood. Now they understand why Gurudev was keeping hand on his shoulder after bath, even though he's grasta, but his dedication is more than us. We are fighting for just small clothes, shirts, dhotis and all. And he's ready to give all his belongings to his Gurudev. Who is superior? We sannyasis is not superior. He's a grasta, he's more superior than us. When they all came back, they all paid obeisances to Ramanacharya and they said, Gurudev, there was a doubt in our mind, why are you telling us to rob someone? Now you understand. It is just because you want to show us something, to teach us a lesson. We are so sorry we doubted you. Shri Ramanacharya said, who is superior, sannyasi or grasta? They all said, he is superior than us. Because we heard him saying this. He is ready to give his life and all possessions. And we are just fighting for small things. He is superior. This is how Shri Ramanacharya was nourishing his disciples. Practically, with practical examples, nourishing them and making them high-class devotees. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Shri Ramanacharya ki Jai. There are many more other stories. Some other time. Tomorrow is Varadvadashi, and we are busy tomorrow morning having a small yajna here around 11 o'clock, and then again we starting 5:30 bhajans, and we're going to hear the glories of Shri Vara Bhagwan. And similarly, day after tomorrow is Nityan Tradashi. Very, very auspicious days in the middle of so many wonderful and exalted devotees here. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalptarubhasya kripasindhu vyavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namah. Shri Kadashi Tithi ki jai. Shri Madhav Tithi ki jai. Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki jai. Shri Radha Raman Bihari Ju ki jai. Bhuva Mangal Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. Shambhari can sing Maha Mantra 2 minutes. Pranay, give this mridanga to Shravas. End up with Maha Mantra, yes. You play, Pranay, you play.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Nitai Gaura Hari Nitai Gaura Hari गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। श्याम बिहारी प्रभु की प्रणय। हरे कृष्ण।